Welcome to the stitch guide. This week we'll be looking at the chevron stitch. This is a great stitch for a big blanket, especially if you want to make stripes. And you see it a lot on TV in American TV shows like the Gilmore Girls. Luke Danes has an orange and black one, I think. And Lorelai and Rory have a pink and blue one on their sofa. And there's one in Virgin River as well. I'm sure I've spotted one in there. So yeah, it's a nice easy blanket to make as well, because it's just one repeat that you have to remember. Nice and simple. So let's get started. So to begin, we're going to make a slip knot. I'm using DK acrylic yarn with a 4mm hook. And we're going to be working in multiples of 14. So I'm going to make 28 and then we plus 1. So however long you want your sample to be, in a multiple of 14 and then plus 1. So I've made 2 multiples of 14. I've got 28 and then plus 1. I have a chain of 29. We're then going to chain 3. That's going to count as our first stitch. In the 4th chain from the hook, we're going to make a US double, UK treble. And that counts as an increase at the end of our row. Over the next 5 chains, we're going to make 5 US doubles, UK trebles. All the stitches in this pattern are US doubles, UK trebles. That's 2. 3. 4. And 5. So as I said at the start of the round, that counted as an increase, that chain 3 and then the stitch into that chain 4 space. So now we're going to make a decrease, and we're going to decrease over 3 chains, making 3 US doubles, UK trebles together. So we yarn over, go into the next chain, pull through, we start our stitch, so we just yarn over and pull through 2, and then we're going to start the second stitch. So yarn over, go into the next chain, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we've now started 2 stitches. We're now going to go for the 3rd, yarn over into the next chain, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we've now started 3 stitches. We're going to yarn over, you should have 4 loops on the hook. We're going to pull through all 4 loops. So we're now going to make 5 stitches over the next 5 chains. So I've made my 5 stitches. So we had an increase at the beginning, then a decrease. So now we're going to make another increase. Into that next chain, we're going to make 1 stitch, chain 1, and then back into the same chain, we're going to make another stitch. We're now going to make 5 more stitches over the next 5 chains. One, two, three. 4. Oops, I've split the yarn. And 5. There we go. So we're now going to make our next decrease. So same as before, over the next 3 chains, we're going to make 3 US doubles, UK trebles together. Doesn't want to go in. There we go. And then yarn over and pull through 4 loops to finish the stitch. So we're now going to make 5 stitches over the next 5 chains. So if you're making a longer sample, say for a blanket, you can press pause, go ahead and repeat. So it's 5 stitches, an increase, 5 stitches, a decrease, yeah? And we'll all see each other, oops, back at the end of this row. So I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So to finish the row, you'll have 1 chain left, and we're going to make an increase by just making 2 stitches in there, no chain space. Yeah, and that's the end of row 1. Don't worry that it holds its shape better as you add more rows. Yeah. So row 2, we're going to chain 3. This counts as our first stitch. So we start with an increase, turn your work, and we're going to make a stitch into that first stitch. So that's counts as 2 stitches in there for our end increase. Yeah. We're now going to make 5 stitches over the next 5 stitches. And this is just a 1 row repeat, so it's the same when you get to the other end and turn around for row 3. It's exactly the same as this. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Get some slack. So after 5 stitches, we're going to make our decrease, and we're going to do the same as we did in the chains, except we'll be working into the stitches. So we're going to make a 3 stitch decrease over the next 3 stitches. Remember, when you finish off, you'll have 4 loops on the hook. Pull through all 4 loops. We then make 5 stitches over the next 5 stitches. go, there's my 5 stitches, and you'll remember we made a chain 1 space in the row before for our increase. That's where we're going to make our next increase. So we're going to do the same as before. We're going to make 1 stitch, chain 1, and then another stitch into the same space. Yeah. So then we're going to make 5 stitches over the next 5 stitches. Hang on, I've missed a stitch there. Oh no, I didn't. So after your 5 stitches, we'll be back to the decrease, and we're going to make 3 stitch decrease over the next 3 stitches. So if you've got a really long blanket sample, you just keep going the same as we have been, alternating between increases and decreases with 5 stitches between. And then when we get to the end of the row, which I'm nearly there now, you can press pause if you've got a really long blanket. So after 5 stitches, we're going to make our increase, and that will be into the, remember we made chain 3 to count as our first stitch, so you can either make that into the top chain or just straight into the chain space. But at the end of the row we make, I'm just going to go into the chain space, we're going to make 2 stitches. Yeah, so we start and end the row with just 2 stitches. We don't make that chain space, but we do make chain 3 as our first stitch. And there we go. You just then chain 3, turn your work, and repeat. You can make it as big, as long as you want. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.